He had never seen a woman as beautiful as her before. In fact, he didn't even know such beauty existed. Legends must have been written about women like her. But when Princess Nest appeared before him, the Welshman felt his heart racing in his chest. In that moment, Owain found himself filled with hatred for the husband of this stunning beauty. How unfair it was that the heir to an ancient kingdom was given to an outsider. Why should the lands of Deheubarth be trampled by conquering knights? And Owain made a decision. He was determined to abduct Nest, just like Helen of Troy. 40 years earlier, although the Norman Duke William had donned the crown of England and earned the title, the Conqueror, he had not truly conquered the entire island. Until the end of the 12th century, maps still showed Gwynedd, Powys, Deheubarth, and at least 3 other ancient kingdoms. Nest Ferch Rhys, such was her name, was the most beautiful woman of her time and the daughter of the ruler of Deheubarth. The princess's father had managed to establish a relationship with William and even pledged his loyalty to him. However, their neighbors were not ready to recognize the Norman as king. Wars broke out across the island, and at one point, the ruler of Deheubarth rose against the invaders. In the year 1093, he was killed, and immediately after, the Welsh lands were carved up by everyone, the King of England and the former allies of the fallen ruler. Nest was 13 years old, but as a princess and heir to the lands, albeit now not very extensive, it was crucial for her family to find her a strong and influential husband. Many sought to ally themselves with the ancient lineage, especially since Nest grew more beautiful with each passing year. Ultimately, the choice fell on Gerald of Windsor, who was half Norman and half Welsh. This young and determined man was making a successful career for himself, and thus Nest's family envisioned a calm and prosperous future for her. Moreover, the marriage had the personal approval of King Henry I of England. The young couple settled in Nest's lands. The beautiful princess, like a rose, drew everyone's attention. People came from far and wide to gaze upon her. Even the king visited their castle, which made Gerald of Windsor quite proud. One day, early in the 12th century, a relative of Nest's, Owain, the heir to the neighboring kingdom of Powys, came to visit. He had never seen the princess before, though he had heard much about her beauty, and she exceeded all expectations. Nest appeared before her guests in all her noble grace. Falling in love at first sight, Owain decided to organize the abduction of the young woman. He gathered 15 of the best fighters, capable of even besieging a castle, and set off for Carnarvon, though some accounts suggest it might have been Caerleon. The attack took place at night. Nest was taken to Powys, while her husband, fleeing from the attackers, escaped the fortress through a privy. Such a dishonorable retreat was later ridiculed by everyone. Naturally, Gerald sought help from the king. Enraged, Henry I ordered troops to invade the abductors' lands. This was a woman of noble birth. A real war broke out, and Princess Nest, the reason for it all, was now referred to as the Welsh Helen. The conflict lasted several years, and during her captivity, Nest bore Owain 2 sons. However, the Normans emerged victorious. In the end, Gerald managed to reclaim his wife, but Princess Nest refused to stay with a husband who could not protect her. She traveled to London to express her admiration for the brave actions of another man, King Henry I. The ruler, captivated by feminine beauty, listened to Nest's grateful speeches as if in a daze. Over the past 2 years, she had grown even more beautiful. Soon after, she shared a bed with the king. Nest of Deheubarth bore Henry a son, Henry Fitzroy. 2 years later, she became a widow and left the royal court. Her beauty continued to captivate men, but among the throng of admirers, she chose Stephen of Cardigan. Their son, Robert Fitzstephen, would later go on to conquer Ireland. The rest of Nest's story remains a mystery. There is no reliable information about her death. Perhaps that is for the best. In the chronicles, she is remembered as Helen of Wales, a woman whose beauty could spark a war, almost like the beauty of Troy.